Tyler from Aspire Sports, and this is a live mock draft that I'm doing right now. Now, we've already had Christian McCaffrey taken. This is live mock draft with real people, real lobby. So let's see what happens. Hopefully here it's a solid video. I've done a couple of these, and some of the players that have been taken haven't been too great. So hopefully this is the one. Let's get this one. So we have Dalvin Cook taken right now, pick number 3. In this mock draft, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a weird strategy because I feel like during mock drafts, it's good to do different types of strategies, like play around. So first 4 picks in my draft, all right? First 4 picks. I'm going to have 2 wide receivers, have a tight end, have a quarterback. All right, have a quarterback. Hopefully it works out that way. So we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to go 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, quarterback. So first wide receiver that I'm going to draft is going to be Tyreek Hill. And we'll see what my roster looks like. Like, you guys can go ahead and give me a grade at the end. Let me know what you think. I'm not going to probably like my team. It's going to hurt me to see running backs that I really want to draft and not being able to draft in the first 4 rounds, but it's just testing. Let's see what happens. Let's see what the team looks like. What kind of running backs that I can get later. We'll go with the flow here, all right? So first player, Tyreek Hill. All right. After this, let's go and Saquon Barkley, pick number 9. I mean, that's really solid value there. That's already the best pick of the draft for me. Saquon number 9. I mean, even Austin Eckler over Saquon, like, I'm sorry, that Saquon should be going in the top 5, I believe. It should go, I think Zeke's number 4, then Saquon. Me personally. Stephon Diggs, we got Devontae Adams. All right. We got the wide receivers flying off the board here, so let's see who we got next. We got Antonio Gibson. Maybe Kelsey can get back to me, so I get my top tier tight end, right? Now, if I get somebody like Darren Waller, should I take them with my next pick? I know it's too early, but I want to make sure that I have one by the 4th round, right? So all right, we'll see what happens here. So Travis Kelsey, damn it. I was hoping he'd get there. So, and I'm looking at the board and man, I like Najee Harris here, Joe Mixon. All right, Joe Mixon off the board. So, hey, go Najee Harris, and then I can feel really good about this next pick. If this is how it plays out, I'm probably going to go Calvin Ridley. But Joe Mixon there, I don't mind Joe Mixon there. This dude's in line for a massive workload this upcoming season, so totally fine. We got ads playing down here, so free ads here. All right, makes my job easy. Oh, no. Makes my job easy. I'm going to go Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's in line for a massive workload as well. No Julio Jones. Last year, he was an absolute stud. This year could be even better without Julio Jones. So, made my job easy, Calvin Ridley. All right. Now for the next 2 picks. We need to hope that one of these top-tier tight ends, Darren Waller or George Kittle, falls to me, and then the 4th round, I'll spend it on a quarterback. That's if, Patrick Mahomes doesn't already go, and we'll see. All right, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Michael Thomas. These are so far so good, all right? So far so good with everybody. I mean, I'm liking a lot of these picks here. I think Saquon still steal the draft. DK Metcalf. Like me personally, I love Michael Thomas. I'm taking him. I believe I have him 6th overall at the wide receiver position. So love Michael Thomas. Totally okay with him going ahead of DK Metcalf. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's starting to move up a little bit. He's starting to move up. Now, I hope that by the time we get into like the middle of August, he's not flying up there like he was last year. He's starting to get, for me, on the fringe. All right. He's starting to get on the fringe where I've seen him going like high 2nd round at times. I don't know if I would take him. Like Najee Harris is still there. I'd rather have Najee Harris over him. So we got AJ Brown, Terry McLaurin, George Kittle. Hopefully he falls. Gets to us, or Darren Waller. I'm okay with Darren Waller as well. I'd like George Kittle personally, but one of these 2 guys, this is who I'm going in the 2nd round, just to see what the team comp looks like. So We're trying to look for team composition, see what the team composition is going to look if I go 2 wide receivers and a tight end and a quarterback in the first 4 rounds. I would not advise anybody to do that unless it's like 2 quarterback leagues. I would wait on quarterback, but we're going to just see what the roster looks like, all right? Najee Harris, absolutely love Najee Harris. I'm a Steelers fan, but I just love Najee Harris. He's in line for a massive workload, so love Najee Harris. All right, we got Allen Robinson, Keenan Allen, J.K. Dobbins is still there. We got David Montgomery, Darren Waller. No. Not looking good. All right, Mike's back, so that's good. At least it won't auto-draft him George Kittle, because I feel like it probably would. All right, Mike. Yes. Oh, Patrick Mahomes. In the 3rd round. There it is. Mike with the pick. All right. We got George Kittle. All right. So now we're looking good. Well, the strategy's working. Now I should have plenty of quarterbacks to pick from, unless all these quarterbacks go right now. I feel like we'll probably still have Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott to choose from, so we should be solid, and then we'll see what this team looks like. So far, I really don't think it's bad. We got George Kittle, Calvin Ridley, Tyreek Hill. It's a solid team. Obviously, you'd like to see a running back in there, but hey, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So who do we got? CeeDee Lamb, and this is what I don't get. I just don't understand why CeeDee Lamb is going ahead of Amari Cooper. In the limited time they played last year, the 4 full games, Amari Cooper saw 20 more targets than CeeDee Lamb. All right, so I just don't understand. Amari Cooper the past year, 2019, finished as a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy football. So I don't get it. I do like that pick there. J.K. Dobbins that late. That's solid value there. We still got Mike Evans on the board, Miles Sanders, Chris Carson, Amari Cooper, a guy that I love. And look at Darrell Henderson moving all the way up here. So basically in the 4th round is probably where he's going to finish going. He might sneak into the 3rd round. To me, I love Darrell Henderson. I think that there's a couple things we need to watch out for. Big thing is, I think that Denver's going to release one of their running backs, whether that's maybe Melvin Gordon. I think that they'll keep him, but possibly Royce Freeman. And I think if they release Royce Freeman, I think a perfect landing spot is going to be the LA Rams. So we'll have to see it. If they end up signing like, I don't know, Le'Veon Bell or Todd Gurley, I'm not worried about that at all for Darrell Henderson. Royce Freeman, though, would be a different conversation. I do think Royce Freeman would eat into Henderson's workload quite a bit, so something we need to watch for. But Darrell Henderson, for now, I don't mind taking him late 3rd round, like 4th round, like that's fine. Mike Evans, all right, this is looking pretty solid. This is a pretty solid draft, except that Mahomes pick. All right, Mahomes pick was not a good pick, and then we got Josh Allen. All right, guys, just wait on the quarterback position. If you can get one of these guys on like I'd say like 5th round is fine. 6th round would be ideal. It's not going to happen though. Like they're going to go earlier than that. But if you can get one in the 5th round, that's not too bad. Like round 3 and 4 to me is just way too early for one of these quarterbacks. When I could get like, say what you want, but Tua, right, way later, he has that rushing potential and plays on an offense now that looks really good, right? I'd rather take my chances there, but like rounds 5 or 6 is where I want to take one of these guys. So now we got to go quarterback. All right, got to go quarterback. Lamar Jackson, to me though, I'd rather take Kyler Murray. Last year, I think Kyler Murray would have been the league MVP if he didn't end up getting hurt halfway through the season, and also I think he would have been fantasy football MVP. He can get just as many rushing yards as Lamar Jackson and is a better passer than Lamar Jackson. So, love Kyler Murray. He, for me, is basically quarterback number 1. I know a lot of people have Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, but Kyler Murray's rushing upside is better than Patrick Mahomes' by far. So Kyler Murray for me is quarterback number 1. So I'm fine with that. Now we filled it out here. All right. We got quarterback, wide receivers, and tight end. Like I said, first 4 rounds, that's where we're going to go. Now we're going to start to fill out our roster. So we need to look at running backs. And I'm looking to here. We got Mike Davis still, Kareem Hunt, Myles Gaskin, Travis Etienne. For me, I'm looking for a volume-based running back, so I'm probably going to go oh, okay. I was going to say, did he just get picked? Myles Gaskin got picked. So, me personally, I'm looking for Mike Davis. If you look at their roster, there's nobody besides Mike Davis. Maybe they bring somebody in before the season. If they don't, it's all on Mike Davis. And I think there's a ton of volume there. It's not going to be efficient volume, I don't believe, but there's just a ton of volume for him in Atlanta. So I'll take my Mike Davis if he gets to me. Travis Etienne for me is just like, I don't like taking him this early. I believe in his talent. I think he's very talented, but I believe he's going to be like the pass catcher. You might see a decent amount of work in terms of pass catching, but you still have James Robinson there that is going to play a lot. So for me, I'd rather just have, damn it, and he got picked. All right. So now we're going to pivot, and we're going to have to go Travis Etienne, which I don't like. I'm looking at these other running backs here. As my RB number 1, oh, guys, this isn't a good draft strategy, all right? So let's not do this. Man, I just talked about how I don't like Travis Etienne, but then it's like, who do I like? Well, it's half-point PPR, so Travis Etienne should see a decent amount of volume in the passing game. He should also see some work as a ball carrier, so Travis Etienne, I don't feel great about that at all, though, as my running back number 1. My running back number 1, that feels dirty. I feel like I got to go take a shower. I don't like that at all. Oh, boy. We're looking okay. We're looking okay, but this is what happens. You don't get that running back. If I would have gotten Mike Davis there, and then on the way back, like I could get somebody like a Javonte Williams or a Chase Edmonds, possibly, like Damian Harris. Like, I feel good about that. But right now, Travis Etienne is my RB number 1. I don't feel good about that at all. No. Like, RB2, okay. Still don't feel too great, but like my RB number 1, no, I don't feel great about that. So we got Tyler Lockett, as you guys know, if you haven't watched this stuff, but I love Tyler Lockett. Love Tyler Lockett. Last year finished top 10 inside of fantasy wide receiver position. Saw more targets than DK Metcalf. So it's not like that's just going to disappear, right? DK Metcalf is an up-and-coming wide receiver superstar in this league for sure, but Tyler Lockett's still there. He's still going to see plenty of volume. For me, is a top 20 guy, so like that pick there. Mark Andrews, go around here as well. Me personally, I have Kyle Pitts over Mark Andrews, but Mark Andrews is fine. Mark Andrews should see plenty of red zone work, so yeah. Kenny Golladay. There's a couple more wide receivers that I like over Kenny Golladay, so I don't like that, especially him. Jamar Chase. This offense in Cincinnati is going to pass the ball a ton. All right, so Jamar Chase should be the wide receiver number 1 in this offense. So a guy that's going to see, I'd say, easily about 120 targets, 130 targets. I'd rather take him over Kenny Golladay. Well, that's not going to be a high-volume passing offense, and there's a lot of other options there. Chase Edmonds. All right, so we got Trey Sermon, Damian Harris that I'm looking at, Javonte Williams that I'm looking at. So for me, right off the bat, I'm going to need somebody that can produce, and I believe that this is probably a little bit of a reach. But I believe that right off the bat, Damian Harris, there's already been talks. He's the number 1 back. He's going to see majority of the work in that backfield in terms of running back work. So I like that. Where Trey Sermon, I'm probably going to have to wait a little bit. Javonte Williams as well. Unless something crazy happens in camp with Javonte Williams with like a release of Melvin Gordon, then he's going to just go in there and be RB number 1. But if not, they're going to split the workload where Damian Harris, right off the bat, I know what I got. I got somebody who's not going to see a whole lot of receiving work, but is going to be the RB number 1. See plenty of rushing attempts and everything. So I do like Trey Sermon, but I need production now as my RB2. I can't wait. Like Trey Sermon as like my RB3 or 4, great. RB2, no. I need the production now. So let's see. We got Justin Herbert. Don't like that. Javonte Williams. That's solid. I wonder what this dude's we got Blaine here. Let's see if I can look at Blaine's team. Blaine right here. So we got Blaine. So yeah, Javonte Williams is third back, which is totally fine. Like that's okay. I mean, I wouldn't have gone Dak, but whatever. But Javonte Williams is third back. Like he has Clyde, he has Zeke. That's fine. All right, let's see. We got Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert going off the board, huh? For me, I'd rather just wait on tight end at this point. Like I'd rather take like Odell Beckham is still there, Ronald Jones, Juju, Robbie Anderson. Like I'd rather just wait on tight end and get like Mike Gesicki if I'm gonna go Dallas Goedert. Matthew Stafford. Are these guys on auto pick? Who is that? Which guy is that? Morris? Oh, he's got back to back, huh? No, he's not on auto pick. So Matthew Stafford and Ronald Jones. Once again, like I feel the same way about like tight end here. Like at this point, I'd rather now Jalen Hurts. That's fine. I'd still want to even take him this early, but I would take him later. But like I'd rather take Jalen Hurts over Matthew Stafford because with Jalen Hurts, you get the like possible. I don't want to say like Lamar Jackson type of season, but you get that rushing upside that is just. It's so much better than your pocket passing quarterback like a Matthew Stafford, where he has that running ability that it's so valuable in fantasy football. So I'd rather just take Jalen Hurts there. Like now, here we go. We got quarterbacks coming off the board. Now, to me, I don't see a big difference between Matthew Stafford and Kirk Cousins. Where Kirk Cousins, you're getting him so late. So, like, there's so much value there. A guy that more times in his career, he has finished as a top 10 quarterback than he hasn't. Last year, is quarterback number 11. Like, to me, I'd rather take that. And I would rather take, like, Odell Beckham Jr. here, Cortland Sutton, over, Matthew Stafford and get Kirk Cousins late. Like, that's what I would rather do. So, I think it's a little bit of a reach. But let's see what else we got here. So, we got Tyler Higbee. Once again, I'd rather just wait on these tight ends. Like, I do like Tyler Higbee, but for, like, the 7th round, I don't like that. Let's see who we got. All right, so we need right now it's just filling out. Like, let's just get quality players. And for me, I'm sitting here between Juju and Robbie Anderson. I'd rather go personally Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, I believe, has a easy path to see at least 120 targets this upcoming season. Last year, I believe he saw 130 something, I believe. So this upcoming season, there's no more Curtis Samuel. It's him, DJ Moore. I believe they got Terrence Marshall Jr., who Terrence Marshall Jr. is really raw. He has some work to do. I don't believe he's going to be that big of a factor this upcoming season. Robbie Anderson, though, has that rapport with Sam Darnold playing in New York, so I believe easy path to 120 targets. If not more, and can definitely finish inside the top 20. I would not be surprised. Juju, the same. Like, I love Juju. So it's really between those two, but me personally, I'm going to go Robbie Anderson because I think that there's a little bit more potential with not as many mouths to feed in that offense. Yes, you do have Christian McCaffrey coming back, but that Pittsburgh, you got Najee Harris, you got Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. So there's a lot more mouths to feed in that offense for me, where I believe it's a big 3 in Carolina. So Raheem Mostert, Tom Brady. Oh, Mike Gesicki went already? What? Mike Gesicki already went. Jeez. Well, who are the tight ends that are left here? Noah Fant, Logan Thomas. So it's starting to get a little brutal out there at tight end position. So I've never seen that happen though. I guess I have seen it, but it's very rare where these tight ends are going like that early. All the tight ends. So and we got our first defense off the board, the Los Angeles Rams defense. Nah, don't like that. Debo. I don't guys, listen. I made a video. Defense should be your second to last pick if you still have defenses in your leagues. Kicker, if you still have kicker, last pick of your draft. Oh man. Please tell me these guys are on auto draft. So we got Mark. Where's Mark at? Mark isn't on auto draft. And neither is the big dog. Guys, like Juju's still there. Chase is still there. Brandon Cooks, AJ Dillon. Like I'd rather have all these guys over a defense and a kicker right now. Come on. So right now it's really between Chase and Juju for me. I have Juju ranked higher, but I think Chase has a bigger ceiling. So at this point, I'm just gonna draft Chase, roll the dice. I think that Juju's completely fine though. Like if you want to go Juju, I have Juju ranked even higher than Chase, but since we're going a bit crazy with our draft strategy here, I feel like I gotta go Chase. All right. I don't like our team. I really don't like our team. I don't hate it, but I definitely don't like it, right? I mean, we do have a solid tight end we don't got to worry about. Just plug and play. Kyler Murray, solid quarterback, just plug and play. Two top wide receivers that, for me, are both inside the top 5 at the position. And then we have running back situation where it's not too great. Now, Travis Etienne, there's a ton of potential there for Travis Etienne. This offense could be an offense that runs the ball a lot. So there is a lot of potential there for Travis Etienne. I'd just rather have him be like at least my RB number 2, preferably RB number 3, not my RB number 1. Damian Harris, I don't mind him as my RB number 2 as much because I think he's going to be the guy right off the bat. So he's going to produce early on. So I don't mind that, but Travis Etienne, I don't feel too comfortable about him as my RB number 1, but let's see how the rest of the draft goes. So we got Chase Claypool currently on the bench. We got Robbie Anderson. I do think that's a solid like wide receiver number 4 for Chase Claypool. Robbie Anderson, I do think that's a solid wide receiver number 3. So we're looking good there. So right now I'm looking at the running backs. Who do we still have? And this happened last draft where I still got Zach Moss here. I have Kenyon Drake that I do like in this range. I even have James Conner that I really like as well. So we'll see who I got coming up. I even like Brandon Cooks here. I'm probably, since I only have 2 running backs here, I already have 4 wide receivers. I'm going to go a running back. And for me, I feel like it's going to be kind of a reach at this point. But actually, I think I can get him next round. I believe I should be able to get him next round. So I'm going to draft Zach Moss. I believe next round I should have a shot at James Conner. I like James Conner a lot this upcoming season. He's somebody that I believe is just going to slide in there and take on the Kenyon Drake role. I've already made a video about it. Like, I think he's better suited for that Kenyon Drake role, the early down guy and the goal line guy. So I like James Conner a lot. I like him a lot. This is a very good offense. This can be one of the top offenses in the NFL. So, and this is somebody that he's probably not going to play a full season. That's really the only big knock that I have on him. He can still catch the ball out of the backfield. He's honestly pretty good at catching the ball out of the backfield. He's good between the tackles. I know that he gets some hate because he was in Pitt, and last year he wasn't very good. That offensive line was not good last year. So that didn't help him out, and they also didn't run the football. So he's somebody that I think is going to do much better in Arizona because this offensive line is good. They have Rodney Hudson as their center, so And I think I'm going to have a real chance at getting him. So we'll see here. We got Tannehill. Like, that's a guy that I feel comfortable drafting at, like, in the 10th round. Like, that's fine. If he's my quarterback number 1, that's good. I like that much more than drafting Stafford in what round was it? The 6th or 7th? I feel much better about that. Brandon Cooks, like that. Curtis Samuel, good. Tyler Boyd, that's completely fine. Damn it. No. The player that I really wanted. James Conner. All right. So now I'm sitting here and I'm looking at what we got. And I do like Devontae Smith a lot right here. I'm probably going to go Devontae Smith. I have 3 running backs. I don't like my running backs at all here. And I'm looking at the running backs that I could possibly have. All right. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go another running back. Actually, no. I'm going to stick my ground. I'm going to draft solid players. And Devontae Smith, I do think in round 10, solid value. Devontae Smith, a lot of people say he's undersized, right? Antonio Brown was undersized, and he was completely fine because he was an excellent route runner. Now, sure, Devontae Smith is very small, like his lower body's pretty small, but he's going to be an excellent route runner, is going to get open because of that reason. Number 1 option, I believe, on this team. So I feel good about that. Still don't feel good about the running back stuff. My gosh, look at those running backs. All right, I'm hoping that somebody I would like. He already got taken. I was going to say Devin Singletary. I could just play Buffalo's backfield. But he's gone. So now we're looking at there is somebody later that I do like, and that's James White. He's going later. Do I go him here, or do I go like a Jamal Williams? This does not feel good. I don't like this. Corey Davis, I like that pick a lot. I love Corey Davis this upcoming season. All right. I'm just going to pull the trigger. I'm going to go James White because I believe he's going to have another solid year. I know that I believe that his receiving role is completely safe. He's going to be this team's pass catching specialist, third down back. I've seen somebody said something about Stevenson. I'm not too worried about Stevenson like eating into that role. Like, I feel like for James White, he should see he has an easy path if he plays all season long to see 75 targets. Who in this range can we really say that for a running back position? Nobody. So I'm going to go James White here. As long as he gets to me, if we don't have James White, right, then we're looking at Nyheim Hines. That's another solid guy that was pretty solid last year as well. To me, I'd rather go James White than Nyheim Hines. So where's James White at? Look for him. Actually, we should probably go. I should probably go about I should probably go Nyheim Hines. Honestly, looking at it, so I didn't even realize he was still on the board here. This is what happens when you're talking and stuff. You miss these kind of players. So I'm gonna go Nyheim Hines. I'll probably go James White on the way back if he's still there. But Nyheim Hines, James White, both receiving guys, and with it being 0.5 PPR, like, this is completely fine. Great spot for both of them. So I'm fine with that. Now, still don't like my running back situation, but we got some pass catchers. All right. It looks like we're going for, we do have 2 guys that are going to be like kind of bruisers with Damian Harris and Zach Moss, but we got 2 pass catching specialists. At least that's what Travis Etienne should be. We'll see. But it's not terrible, but I don't feel great about it, right? And then I'm just looking at these guys like even with Claypool being like the first player on my bench, like I like Claypool, but I know that I've done plenty of drafts where I know like my first bench spot is better than that, like is a better player than that. So sure, I don't have George Kittle and I don't have Kyler Murray, but I feel like I can get solid value at especially the quarterback position. Like maybe not so much a tight end. Like I believe, did I get him in the third round? I think I get him. Yeah, I got him in the third round. So I like that. Like I take George Kittle there all day. For me, that's completely fine where I got him. It just the big one is the quarterback. Like at least take I'd rather take a wide receiver in the fourth round and go like a running back in the first or second round. Probably definitely in the first round because I wouldn't have taken Tyreek Hill there. There's other players that I really liked over Tyreek Hill, running back wise. So I probably would have went honestly running back and then possibly wide receiver here. I did think Calvin Ridley at that point in the draft was solid. So I probably would have went Calvin Ridley. And then third round, I would have went George Kittle. So instead of going fourth round like a quarterback, I probably would have went running back or a possible wide receiver. So yeah, that's where I would have been. So I would have went running back, wide receiver, and then tight end. And with that fourth round, probably running back. I'd have to go back and look to see who was still available at that point. But fourth round, go running back or wide receiver. So we got we got Kirk Cousins and Matt Ryan, like two guys that are completely fine, like later in the draft, especially for round 12 right now. Yeah. And there's even, let's see who else is still there. I mean, I'm somebody that's big on Jameis this upcoming season. I love Jameis this upcoming season. You still got Justin Fields there. Like, I like Justin Fields. I'll take a shot. Trey Lance, Tua. I'll take a shot on these guys. Like, one of them is bound to stick, and you're going to get a guy like Justin Herbert. It happens every single year in fantasy football where you just pay attention to the waiver wire. You pay attention to what quarterback is starting to play hot. You just go pick him up. Like, it's that easy. You have Justin Herbert last year. I don't know where he's definitely a top 10. I don't know if he finished inside the top 5. I'd have to go back and look. But a guy that was top 10 last year on a points per game basis that wasn't being drafted, right? It happens every single year in fantasy football. So I'll take my shot there. So now we're looking at, I mean, at this point, we're just going running back, wide receiver, like whoever's the highest on the board. I was paying attention to who was being drafted. So, James White, that's somebody that I wanted to go, right? Draft a pass catching specialist, somebody that I do believe has an easy path to 75 targets, possibly even more. If he's able to stay healthy, play a full season, I do think that there's a path to more targets in that. So, James White. Now, I'm not feeling, once again, I'm not feeling terrible. I'm not feeling as bad about my running backs now. I do think we have some guys here that are, we can kind of play matchups, right? Play matchup for these guys. It's obviously not as good as going like, I don't know who is still there. Like probably Nick Chubb, I'd imagine, was still there. Somebody like that. So it's not as good as that, but we got some guys who can catch passes, and that's the key in fantasy football for running backs. Like that is a big advantage over somebody that's going to, like a Damian Harris. I do think a pass catching specialist is at a bigger advantage than Damian Harris, where he's just going to be basically their running back, like between the tackles, first and second down kind of guy, goal line guy, where you get somebody who can catch 75 passes. Like that's a big advantage over your regular running back like him. So I'm feeling decent. All right. I still, obviously, the quarterback would have waited, but let's see who else we got. We got Marvin Jones. I do like Marvin Jones. Pretty solid. He could easily be their number one. He's extremely talented. So I do like that pick there. Alexander Madison, Jalen Waddle. Let's see. Who are we going to go here? Do we go? How many wide receivers do we have? We have 1, 2. So only 2 wide receivers on the bench right now. But we got three starting because of our flex. We got what three running backs. So I think we're even in terms of running backs and wide receivers. So I'm gonna take a shot at a running. And at this point, I'm going to go for a running back. Although I do like Mecole Hardman there. That's looking pretty good there too. I might take a shot on Mecole Hardman. That's probably who I'm going to go, unless he gets drafted. See, this is the bad thing about... I don't have my own personal rankings pulled up, my own personal draft board. I should probably do that. But I'm just going off of these rankings, so you kind of miss... When you're doing this, you miss guys that you probably want to have drafted, or guys that you would have drafted that are lower on these rankings than where they are in your own rankings. So that's why you should have your own personalized draft board. Or we'll be coming out with our own draft board August 1st. So I'm going to go Mecole Hardman here. He's going to round out the draft order, and then I'm going to go, obviously, my tight end and my kicker. I would also advise, if you don't have to draft one of those guys, especially if you're drafting earlier and you don't have to draft one of them, don't draft one. Go another tight end or go another wide receiver and running back. Maximize, especially around this time. Like, I would definitely take a shot on Royce Freeman right now. He's somebody that might not make the cut for the Denver Broncos. We know the Rams are looking for a running back, so there's a player that I would honestly draft and be okay drafting as a later round pick. So, that being said, thanks for watching the video. I'm not going to worry about drafting a kicker and tight end. Really what I'm looking for in my kicker and tight end, or not kicker and tight end, kicker and defense. I'm looking for a defense that's pretty solid, it should be a pretty solid defense, like a Cleveland easily. I'd go even New Orleans, pretty solid. Buffalo, yeah, Chicago. So, look at these defenses. There's plenty of guys here that, defenses that I would take here. And then also look at week 1 matchups, right? So, Denver was already taken, but Denver has a week 1 matchup. So does Miami. So, Miami, also another defense that, honestly, I would love to take because the defense is very good. So, wait on defenses. And then for kickers, let's look at kickers. You got the Rams kicker. Tampa Bay's kicker still on the board. What? Don't take a kicker earlier than your last pick. Even if I get Arizona's, I'm fine with that. I'm looking for... we got Denver's kicker, McManus. I'm okay with that too. A guy that is absolutely going to be able to kick long kicks up there in Denver. So, totally fine with me. So, I'm going to go, obviously, Matt Gay. I should have went Ryan Suckup, honestly, is who I should have went, but Matt Gay on the Rams like that as well. Yeah, and actually, I should have went defense first. Dang it. Anyways, so that does it. Let me know what you think of this draft strategy. Would you be interested in doing this draft strategy? Going no running backs in the first 4 rounds. Maybe next time I should do the first 5 rounds. Then I don't get ETN, and then it's really looking rough. So, anyways, that does it. So, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.